Anybody got any questions or observations?
Sorry? Why did you choose 9/11?
Primarily because of the conversations I had with a couple of friends in recent weeks, and I was suitably shocked by some of the things that I was hearing that I decided to do. And also primarily because, like, at university, they said, pick a topic. And all of a sudden, my kind of Blather world and my university world kind of collided, and I thought that would be a fun thing to do.
Just add, you were talking there about the WTC7.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if anyone's seen the BBC News, whereby they quoted, did you see this?
Yeah.
That they quoted that the building had fallen down before it actually fallen down.
Yeah, 20 minutes before it came down.
I find that strange, but however, I've been studying 9/11 for about, well, almost since 9/11 took place. It took me about 6 to 7 years to find all the jigsaws that the puzzle together. I would share a completely different view from you.
Yeah.
I'm also involved with 9/11 UK, 9/11 UK. There's a lot of facts there that you've missed out.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I can't cover all the facts out.
The pod, the flash under the plane, the thermite used in the buildings being brought down, which is now, I think, a lot of researchers come out. There's a lot of interesting guys who, there's pilots who are speaking out against 9/11.
Well, there's pilots, architects, engineers,
yeah. So there's a lot of facts there that you've missed out, but my own view is, why did you pick on 9/11?
Well, because it's a subject that interests me, and because, as I say, my friends and the things they said to me suitably interest me. I completely respect your view, and I think it is a fascinating area, but I challenge one thing you said. You're talking about facts about 9/11. I don't think they're facts, I think they're assertions. There's a difference between a fact and an assertion. For example, taking the issue of the nanothermites, which we've heard about. In case you're interested, the dust recovered from the wreckage of WTC7, this particular scientists have analysed it and said there's evidence of nanothermites. If there was no controlled explosion, how the building come down, it was taken down by thermite, which can basically liquefy steel.
Sorry, what's a nanothermite?
A nanothermite apparently is a tiny little piece of thermite which can melt through steel.
Controlled demolition.
Or it's been supposedly used in a controlled demolition. The fact is that I've looked around, and I'll be happy to be proved wrong, but I can't find anywhere or any organisation selling nanothermites. Nobody can find any of it. And when this assertion is put to that professor, I think it's Professor Stephen Jones, is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong in the name. You know, he says, yes, we've got reports of nanothermite, but he can't show anybody nanothermite. So what I'm saying is that the only thing I quibble with you is that the assertion of these things as being facts, I don't think they're facts. And by the way, I'm not saying that I'm trying to debunk all these. There are many things in the BBC documentaries I'd actually take issue with as well, but they've got their own agenda too. As you say, they screwed up on the day of 9/11. They reported WTC7 had fallen down about an hour before it came down. Why? Well, they claim that because it was a situation of mass panic and that they had wrong information. And if you go back and watch the BBC rebuttal documentary, which again uses its own very emotive music and narrative, the journalist in question, she's been the subject of a vitriol hate campaign. She's been accused of being complicit in, you know, a media conspiracy that they were reading from scripts, essentially. And, you know, what concerns me or interests me is that people are having things asserted about them, that they're complicit in mass murder. There are such things as journalistic and scientific and you know, evidential process. And Dylan Avery and some of these other guys have quoted these people without ever asking these people themselves to their face or even through an email, is this what you said? And I'm aware that, by the way, I'm doing exactly the same thing. I can go online, get a quote from somebody and then tear the arse off them for saying that. But I think if you're going to accuse somebody of being complicit in mass murder, I think you owe them an email. I think you owe them, is that what you said? So, sorry to go on a rant at you, I apologise, but, sorry, the lady at the back.
Yeah, so, two things. One, when you were talking about Americans and terrorist attacks, you didn't mention that in the 90s we had the Oklahoma City bombing, which did expose Americans to terrorism. Yeah. So we actually are a bit more familiar with it than you might give us credit for.
Okay.
And unlike you might think, some of us do have the capability of critical thinking skills.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
And some of us are actually rather skeptical of stuff like this.
Okay. I wasn't trying to suggest that all Americans are dumb, which is the common thing that a lot of people like to say about this, nothing like it. But when I see people standing at the site of the 9/11, you know, at Ground Zero, handing out DVDs,
Oh,
and
no, I
ranting kind of religiously, it tells me that,
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it all the time.
Mhm.
And being an American abroad, I get to hear this from every
sure.
single crackpot in every single country I go to,
yeah.
who thinks I need to know their conspiracy theory.
My girlfriend is American, she's from Chicago, she says exactly the same thing. She's worn out listening to people ranting about her about these kind of things.
But yeah, I mean, some of us are capable of critical thought. I mean, we
No
really
question,
are.
I wasn't trying to suggest that all Americans are.
And we do have our own exposure to terrorism. And in California, we had some issues with Al-Qaeda terrorism in Lodi, as a matter of fact, in 2003. So not something widely known if you're not from the area, but yeah.
So what was the name of the location you said there?
Lodi,
Okay.
California. Yeah, there were some terrorist happenings there. Small sleeper cell was actually taken out. So just some things that you might want to know.
Okay, thank you.
Before you assume that us Americans are clueless.
I wasn't assuming Americans were clueless. I did. I'm sorry if you took it that way. I certainly didn't mean that because, like, my girlfriend would slap me from one end of the room to the other if that was my assumption. So, anybody else want to ask a question or make an observation?
Just about the plane heading to Pentagon.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I can't remember exactly what was said to have happened was the engine landed in the slate and the call flight 1.1. I'm just trying to remember exactly.
That's flight 93 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the engine was, is this what generally held in?
Short answer, I don't know. And I'm not trying to dodge the question. What I mean is, it's gotten to the stage where I'm questioning my own sanity. In that I was in a pub last night, people were saying, do you believe it? And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know what the official version is. And by the way, there's a bunch of hyperlinks in this presentation which you can view at Blather.net, and you're free to explore all those. It'll actually give you the official version, and the conspiracy theory version, and then the debunk version, and so on. But no, it wasn't actually, the engine was meant to be something like a mile away, but the debris, as I said, was supposed to be like 6.1 miles away, but that's not quite right, because as the crow flies, it's so. I don't get, it does strike me as strange. I mean, Flight 93 is the one probably, for me, the most troublesome of all of them, because, you know, how did it go down? But we do have transcripts from people on the airplane ringing their loved ones and saying that they're going.
Is it not the case that making phone calls from that high up has only been capable over the past few years? Going back to that time, you were not capable of making phone calls at that particular height?
I don't know.
So it's possible to make phone calls at whatever place people.
But if you're asking me, do I think it's possible? The answer is, I don't know.
So the point that I'm trying to get to, and being critical of both sides, is, you know, you can say one thing because always someone else come back.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and then a rebuttal to the rebuttal as well.
It's always important to have a balanced discussion on this, you know? Yeah.
Which is very rare. I found when I've noticed this, like I noticed when you talk about 9/11 with people, as I experienced in the pub last night, it's like 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, rageometer. It's extraordinary how angry it gets people. It's a really emotional subject. I'm conscious of the fact that I've run over time and I need to get off stage. I'll be around for a while if anyone else wants to, you know, harangue me and beat me up or ask me any questions. Thanks again for hanging on so long.